You may be gathering in your higher mental much wisdom and very grand concepts, and must be preoccupied to see how to bring these grand concepts into daily life. That's the true challenge, that we try to translate the sublime, subtle ideas of subtle plane into our surroundings. The standpoint of wisdom gives a synthesis to the varied viewpoints that the mind holds on account of its preoccupation with the daily events. And when there is crisis, mind is more preoccupied about the crisis. The crisis can be individual, the crisis can be groupal, the crisis can be social, the crisis can be global, and mind is always alert to look to the crisis that surrounds us. It's easily said that all is divine, but to experience within and around that all is divine is truly the accomplishment. That's why we are given a daily life to meet the daily little crisis to the global crisis, and then synthesize, work it out, and return home safe. In the sense, we get back into our own abode of residence, which we call the heart. We all need to not only close the day, but before we close the evening, since the evening opens itself into tomorrow morning, how we close our day is more important. If we close our day in peace, in poise, we can commence the next day in order. The dusk or the sunset is as important as the sunrise. The sunrise is fresh only to those who wake up early and see the sky even before the sun rises. It gives lot of energy, and to experience the sunrise the next day, the preparation is from this night itself. How do we close the day? Normally, in all discipleship, we are asked to close the day with a short and simple prayer in the bed, so that we may gain a chance to move into the subtle and divine world. When you get back next day, you get back with better energies, better order, and then certain novel ideas which may dawn into you during the prayer hours. Therefore, to have an effective prayer next day, how we close today is important. If you close it well, it can be opened in poise. If you don't close it in peace, then it cannot be opened in poise. Therefore, closure has its subtle beginning also for the next opening. Every ending in itself has a beginning. As you close, so it opens. As you close one life, one incarnation, the way you close it, in the same way, in the same quality and vibration, it opens again. If you are in peaceful ambience, as you depart, you arrive again in a very peaceful, harmonious ambience without there being any commotion relating to your delivery. If we see the lives of initiates, who are always an example to us, all initiates, they were delivered with much ease by their mothers. The mother of Buddha, Gautama, could deliver Gautama Buddha in a travel while she was passing through the garden of Lumbini. She found that the time has arrived for her to deliver with the assistance of a few ladies. She could deliver him in the garden of Lumbini. So also if you see the life of Jesus the Christ, he could be quietly delivered in a cowshed amidst the cows and sheep around, and the only assistance was from Joseph, the father. The father and the mother could facilitate the arrival of Jesus the Christ in a very humble and sacred place. That's why his life has been very humble and very sacred. So therefore, when we walk every night into sleep, we are into the nature's womb. We should know that the sleep withdraws all of us into nature's womb. And in the morning, we are once again delivered by the nature into the world. So how peacefully you entered into the womb decides how peacefully you again reappear from the womb. So therefore, the message is clear that every dawn is like a birth to all of us, and it has to be as peaceful, as harmonious, and as quiet as possible, and not otherwise. And then ensure that peace, poise, and harmony continues throughout the day through orderly functioning. As we open the day, there should be a joy in you and surrounding you. For example, a rose that unfolds by the time in the morning as you go to it already gives you joy, isn't it? When you look at a blossomed flower, it is already expressing its joy and it meets you with joy. So also our life shall have to open in a manner that it keeps on spreading fragrance, but not nuisance, but not any other undesirable energy. As much as you are nourished through night, so much you can transmit through the day. If we sleep seeing a horror movie in the night, so the horror continues the next day morning also, isn't it? Or if we quarrel with each other, the man and the lady, they quarrel and then somehow, with great difficulty, they fall asleep. Next day morning cannot be a beautiful morning, even if it happens to be a Sunday morning. Therefore, how we close is more important than how we open the next day. In closure, there is already the program for opening. That's why we need to close the day well. We need to close the activity daily very well. We need to close the life also in such peacefulness so that we come back in peacefulness.